Several co-defendants joined Merchant's motion after Willis implied her critics were racist and sexist during a fiery speech at a historic black church. According to this report, that is where Fani went wrong.
Oh Lord, they gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense. First thing they say, oh, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one? Isn't it them playing the race card when they constantly...
Well, we are following some breaking news tonight at 6 as a judge has now ordered Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to pay more than $54,000 for violating the Open Records Act.
I took notes because there were a couple different questions in there. So the first one, you said about how much money. So Ms. Willis had stated that it would be between $3 or $4 million to actually pay Mr. Wade completely to prosecute this case.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today what we're going to be talking about is your girl, Fani Willis. You know who she is. She's the district attorney of Fulton County down there in Georgia. And what we're going to be talking about today, y'all, is the ongoing saga of Fani Willis, and more specifically her top op, Ashleigh Merchant, who has put Fani Willis's entire career on the rails. Now, I don't imagine that that's what Ashleigh Merchant wanted to do, but there's this new profile of Ashleigh Merchant in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. We're going to be taking a look at that. And also we're looking at the fact that due to Ashleigh Merchant's investigation, Fani Willis is now going to be testifying in front of the Georgia Senate next month in November, and her Supreme Court case where she claimed prosecutorial immunity from having to go and respond to the subpoena from the Senate. That Supreme Court is on hold right now. So Fani has a lot going on, y'all. She's been disqualified from the Trump case. She's having to go testify about her relationship with Nathan Wade, and you're gonna see y'all gonna see some footage here. If you weren't paying attention, or if you just want to stroll down memory lane or if you just want to stroll down memory lane today, y'all, this is gonna be a good video for you to watch. Y'all, this is gonna be a fun video. Again, we'll circle back around and tell you where things stand as of right now and what's coming up next. But first, y'all, we're gonna talk about the pivotal moment where Fani Willis's entire situation, her entire career was on the line, where she made a huge misstep and she unleashed the wolves. Let's take a look. But before we do, y'all, we have a new webpage for my people out there who are like, yo, I have money, but I don't want to give it away to the people who are trying to take it. How can I protect my retirement? Y'all, gold. How many times do I have to tell you? Gold has been man's longest monetary best friend for 5,000 years. I mean, what else are you looking for? Go to our webpage. Go to the new webpage, Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Get the information on how to protect your retirement. And you can call 844-651-8334 and speak to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Now let's go ahead and hop into this content. Okay, so in this Atlanta Journal-Constitution write-up on Ashleigh Merchant, y'all, I am going to show you the exact moment where Fani's entire career came crumbling down. Bear with me. Let me set it up, y'all. Y'all know I'm going to give you a little bit of a slow boil here, but I promise you the payoff is well worth it. So Fani put this RICO on Trump, right? Trump and associates. And Ashleigh Merchant is retained to represent one of these defendants. She starts doing her investigation and she finds out that Fani's getting chooky with one of the prosecutors that she hired to prosecute Trump. We all know this by now. So bear with me as I read this through, y'all. I'm setting it up. Trust me, the payoff is worth it. So here it says, Merchant's biggest breakthrough came when she began looking into the details of Wade's ongoing divorce. His estranged wife helped confirm dates and details and ultimately released credit card statements that showed Wade paid for some of Willis's travel on trips to California and the Caribbean. Now, why is that important? Because Fani's paying Wade out of the Fulton County money, and Wade is paying for Fani to go on trips out of his money. So the question is, well, if you are getting money from Fulton County and then you're spending that money or some of that money on the person in Fulton County who's paying you, because remember, Wade is not an employee of Fulton County. So he's getting money from the county, but the person in the county responsible for paying him is also getting a benefit from him. So it looks fishy. Merchant was also hitting some roadblocks. Certain witnesses and companies would cooperate only with a subpoena, and Merchant couldn't get them without an evidentiary hearing on the calendar. Okay, let's get forward. Any hesitations Merchant had about making the move faded away as she recalled a conversation she had with her husband about what she would do if Roman, that's her client, that's one of the Trump associates or one of the people on trial with Trump, what she would do if Roman were ultimately convicted. What would she say if she had to testify at a hearing about whether she had effectively represented him? So did she turn over all the rocks? Did she go as far as she could? She's like, yo, do I really want to go after Fani for this? And it's like, man, if my guy gets convicted and I didn't do all this, then that wouldn't be right. So we're gonna go ahead, right? The allegations were true. I had a legal basis for it. So at that point, I was like, do I have the balls to file it or not? So she going hard, y'all. Now check this out. This is the key point. At that point in the case, Willis had racked up a series of procedural victories in local and federal court. She secured 4 plea deals from case defendants, including from 3 lawyers who'd worked for Trump. And Willis at that time was being widely lauded as a hero on the left for defying death threats in an effort to hold Trump accountable. But see, the other lawyers were hesitant to touch this. The other lawyers were hesitant to touch this salacious allegation that Willis was getting chooky with the guy who she's paying to prosecute Trump, and at the same time she's taking trips and he's paying for it. So other lawyers, they were hesitant, but this is the key moment, y'all. This is the payoff. Several co-defendants joined Merchant's motion after Willis implied her critics were racist and sexist during a fiery speech at a historic black church. According to this report, that is where Fani went wrong, when she played those cards, y'all.
But dear God, are you listening? Why does Commissioner Thorne and so many others question my decision in a special counsel? Lord, your flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child, I'm a little confused. I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one. I hired one white woman, a good personal friend and great lawyer. A superstar, I tell you. I hired one white man, brilliant, my friend, and a great lawyer. And I hired one black man, another superstar, a great friend, and a great lawyer. Oh Lord, they gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense. First thing they say, oh, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one? Isn't it them playing the race card when they constantly think, I need someone from some other jurisdiction in some other state to tell me how to do a job I've been doing almost 30 years. God, why don't they look at themselves and just be honest? I mean, can't they keep it 100 with themselves? Why are they so surprised that a diverse team that I assembled, your child, can accomplish extraordinary things? God, wasn't it them that attacked this lawyer of impeccable credentials? The black man I chose has been a judge more than 10 years, run a private practice more than 20, represented businesses in civil litigation. I ain't done, y'all. Served as a prosecutor, a criminal defense lawyer, special assistant attorney general. One Chief Justice Robert Benham Award from the State Bar of Georgia. You know, they ain't just giving this to black men. How come, God, the same black man I hired was acceptable when a Republican in another county hired him and paid him twice the rate? Oh, y'all ain't hear me. In another county, the elected official has the authority to pay him twice the rate. Why is the white male Republican's judgment good enough, but the black female Democrats not? Now please hear me. I'm not criticizing his judgment. The people of his county elected him to make that decision. In fact, let me put it on the record. He's someone I respect because he was always willing to hire diversity. He was just looking for quality. I don't care political party. They care about it. My only question is, why is it question me? Now, I want to be clear. All three of these special counselors are superstars. But I'm just asking God, is it that some will never see a black man as qualified, no matter his achievements? What more can one achieve? The other two have never been judges, but no one questions their credentials. I'm just saying. Lord, I'm just asking, is it that I, because of the shell you chose to put me in, will never be qualified in their eyes?
So there you can see the moment that the article references, and apparently that was a huge mistake because people who may have been hesitant to go after Fani due to her chooky-chookiness, her chooky hood, apparently that at that moment they were like, oh, so you want to play those games, huh? Anyway, y'all, that's what I get from the article. Of course, you should check it out to see if you get the same thing. That set off a domino effect that not only got Fani disqualified and her whole office disqualified from the Trump RICO, but it's also going to cause this case, if it's even to go forward, and I'm talking about the Trump RICO case, if it's even to go forward, it's going to cause it to be transferred to another prosecutor's office. And there's it's even doubtful if that can even happen. So the chookiness and plus the playing these cards could very well have tanked the entire case. Not only that, but now Fani has to go and talk about this in public in November. So, we'll be covering that. And the fallout from that did not stop, y'all. I'm going to link into a report where Fani's office, due to, listen, this must have been catastrophic for her, even though it certainly follows from her own decision making. But Ashleigh Merchant wasn't done, y'all. She continued to request documents from Fani because she's representing her client. Fani's office stalled out and Ashleigh Merchant got another $50,000 judgment against Fani as a result of violations of the Georgia version of the Freedom of Information Act, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and link into that so you can see how that happened as well. Fani has been ordered to pay over $54,000 to the Merchant law firm. And why? The same reason that she was just ordered to pay over $22,000 to Judicial Watch a month or two ago, because she is not honoring open records requests. So between the two orders, she's daggone near $70,000 that her office has had to pay. Y'all, she could have got a full-time employee for that money for a whole year. So let's take a look. Ashleigh Merchant says, proud that we have judges willing to hold people in power accountable when they ignore the law. So Ashleigh looks to be celebrating this judgment. Now here we have the actual judgment. Now this is by Judge Rachel Krause of Fulton County Superior Court. We'll just skip down to the conclusion. It says, based on the foregoing, the court hereby enters final judgment in favor of plaintiff and against defendant, and orders the following. No later than 30 days after the entry of this order, defendants shall file a notice of compliance with this court certifying under oath that the defendants have complied with the order by A, performing appropriate searches of all employee emails, DA's office files, and records to ensure that all potential locations for responsive documents are searched. B, providing to plaintiff all responsive materials without redaction, alteration, deletion, or modification in any form. And C, explaining in detail efforts undertaken to locate responsive documents and detailing searches conducted, including identifying emails to individuals and or DA office-wide emails as reasonably necessary. And also, within 30 days, won't you cough up that $54,103.23 within 30 days?
Well, we are following some breaking news tonight at 6 as a judge has now ordered Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to pay more than $54,000 for violating the Open Records Act.
So yeah, y'all, as we wait for this November testimony from Fani in front of the Georgia Senate, I just wanted to provide this video for all of you who just need that context to know, how did this go down? Again, check out the full article if you want the full details. This is just meant to give you a little bit of the spicier side of everything that happened. Let me know what y'all think about this. Do you think that Fani Willis, what do you think is the future for her at this point, y'all? What do you think is the future for Fani at this point? Let me know down in the comments. But before you do, y'all, please stop, hit the share button. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. To my people in retirement, go down, click the link in the description, Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Get the information on how to protect your retirement from the upsies, the downsies, the roundsies, and the roundsies. And of course, you can reach out to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.
I did want to go into these trips. How much was the money? Go ahead. Thank you.
Was that a question? Because I'd like to respond if it is.
Yes.
Okay. I took notes because there were a couple different questions in there. So the first one, you said about how much money. So Ms. Willis had stated that it would be between $3 or $4 million to actually pay Mr. Wade completely to prosecute this case. So you'd be able to hire a number of prosecutors. Some of them do come and go, but most of the prosecutors we've seen on this case have been there since the beginning. So, you know, unfortunately, these cases take time, so people may leave. You also asked me about that this money was delegated for this, and I just wanted to make sure that my testimony was accurate. This money was never delegated for this. The county did not ever delegate this. The county was not involved in that at all. Ms. Willis is the one that decided, and there's no budget. There's no transparency at all on this.
She does the contract with him, and I believe you showed those contracts. So in that sense, it's delegated to him because that contract can end at any time. She could say, hey, the contract because he works at her pleasure.
Oh, yes.
So that contract can actually end at any time. That would be the point.
Yes.
On the trips, how much total were the trips?
About $20,000.
And I think it was about 17,059. But even if we say 20,000, what was the average cost of each one of those trips?
I don't know.
Well,
Unfortunately, they did not provide all of the records, so I can't tell you exactly. All I can tell you is what Mr. Wade charged on his credit cards. I can't tell you. Most of it was paid in cash, so there's no record. So I wish I could tell you, but
going by your slide, one was 3,335, one was 4,453.
which one? Hold on, I want to make sure I'm clear on each.
You had 6 trips.
Okay, but which trip are you talking? Well, you said one is 3,000 something. I want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah, put it back up for me, please.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So the first one, Royal Caribbean, 3,335, Aruba, 4,453. And then we see the next one, and then the next two. How would that compare? I mean, what is that so unusual on price points as far as trips are concerned?
No, I mean, I don't think so. The Royal Caribbean, so I can tell you because I know these records really well. I mean, Royal Caribbean, I specifically kept out the money that he spent on his mom's cabin. So they had 2 cabins. His mom had a cabin. They had an oceanfront balcony. For the Bahamas, I think oceanfront balcony is probably, upper middle, but I don't know that it matters. Flew, comfort class, not unnormal for a lawyer. Do
you know what maybe the average American spends on a vacation?
Not this much.
You don't think?
No.
Have you looked?
No, I haven't, but I would imagine most of the Fulton County taxpayers would love to go on any of these trips.
Well, you know, if you, since you speculate a lot, I could speculate and say that you did look, and that's why you didn't put it in your brief, because Forbes actually says that the average is about $3,700 that a person spends on a vacation.
For a single person or a family?
Family of four. Well, at that time, they were taking 2 and 3 at the time.
That makes sense.
That's about
no,
normal.
hold on. I want to make sure that's clear. You said they were taking 2 or 3 at a time. All of these, I made very certain that my numbers only included the 2 of them. So the one trip that they took his mother on.
2 adults.
2 adults, yes.
It's nothing extraordinary.
So you said $3,700 for a family of 4. That
Right.
does not surprise me. For families that can afford to go on vacations, does not surprise me.
So it's basically what the average American would do.
So that's,
Yes.
this is half of that for 2 people. So you said $3,700 for a family of 4. This is for 2 people,
Right. It's just 2 people.
right? So
Yes.
yes.
So it wouldn't necessarily be average. It's 2 adults. Bottom line is, it's not extravagant. It's not lavish, is it?
The law only says $100, so.
But it's not lavish.
That's one of the reasons I didn't include all the Ubers. I quite frankly didn't want to do the math, but there were a ton of Ubers on each of these trips. There was a hotel at the beginning of the Royal Bahamans. I didn't include that. I didn't want to do the math, and I also did not want to.
And how much does Ms. Willis make?
200 and something thousand a year.
And so your
It's in my brief.
argument is that a person who makes $200,000 a year is actually setting up prosecutions to go on a trip that costs $3,500. That's your argument.
No, not in isolation. I mean, you're talking about in isolation.
No, I'm not talking about in isolation. I'm talking about what's in briefs. I don't know what else you may be speculating about. I'm just talking about what's in briefs that says this is the benefit that she got. And all I'm saying is that I got a person who's making $200,000, and the benefit that you're putting into the briefs, not what you may say that you may find elsewhere, but the benefit in the briefs is I go on a trip for $3,300, $4,400, and they have made up all these prosecutions to go on a 3-day cruise for $3,300. I mean, that's your argument. If that's your argument, that's your argument.
That's not.
That's in the brief.
That's not our argument. So we did
What else
argue
is
for
in the
about
brief?
3 hours.
What else is in the brief?
What else is in the brief?
Yes.
A lot of facts, a lot of law.
No, as far as actual financial benefit.
So the financial benefit that I put in the brief was what I could prove. I did not want to have any, as you call it, speculation. I did not want to speculate about anything else. So I did not know if Mr. Wade paid for an Uber that Miss Willis was literally sitting in at the same time. You can kind of assume, because it's from the airport to the hotel, but I did not want to speculate to that. So I didn't include those in the numbers. So the hard numbers in here are all of these numbers that are on
That's
trips.
what's in brief.
Yes, the ones
Right.
that I actually had hard numbers that I knew that she had. Yes, that's in the brief.
In our business, we deal with proof, and so that's the proof that we have.
Exactly. That's why that's what I
that
did.
person
Yes.